Hi everyone, and welcome to this session today. Before we kick off, let's take a moment to allow others to join us. Um, let's wait for approximately 5 minutes to ensure that as many participants as possible have the opportunity to be part of this engaging session, right? And appreciate your patience and thank you so much. We will begin shortly in a couple of minutes. Please sit tight and thank you for joining us. Well, I thought the music would be back whenever I muted my mic, but it seems not. Oh, hi Kev, by the way, GM, and to everyone else.
Hey Sergio. Hey everyone. Thanks for joining.
I'm just going to set an extra co-host just in case things go wrong. Well, nice to see we have more people joining. All right, so let's get started. Welcome everyone to the inaugural episode of the Ankr Tea Talks, and we are thrilled to have to be kicking off this new series with a very special session focusing on the recently launched AppChains on Ethereum. And today we have a distinguished guest joining us, which is Kev Silk, AppChains lead at Ankr. It's not the first time that you're in a live session with us, right, Kev? But I think it's especially exciting today. And I just wanted to say as well that although we won't be interacting directly with the audience today, this dedicated session offers a fairly rare opportunity to gain valuable insights directly from the source, right? Without further ado, let's welcome Kev. Hi, Kev.
Hey Sergio. Hey everyone. Thanks for joining. Super excited to talk to you all today about our latest announcement of AppChains on Ethereum, which we announced on Tuesday, and dive a little bit deeper into what we're doing and the benefits that we're providing to the industry.
Great. Yeah. Exactly. I'm super excited as well, and I even forgot to introduce myself. I'm Sergio, your regular host at this point already, and I do community at Ankr. I'm super happy to have everyone here, and of course, to have you here, right, Kev? I think many of us are already familiar with the AppChains product, right? But for those who might be unfamiliar, could you provide a brief explanation of what AppChains are and how they differ from the mainnet as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So AppChains, which is short for application-specific blockchains, I like to look at them as essentially dedicated blockchains that are built on top of an existing L1 or L2 blockchain network. So right now, the L1s and the L2 chains that support this type of, modular architecture are chains like Polygon, Binance, Avalanche, Cosmos, and now since our Tuesday announcement, we can now build app chains on top of Ethereum as well. But I think it's important to provide even more context with this. So, when you think about it, like instead of building applications around public blockchain infrastructure, with app chains, you build the infrastructure around the application. And you're completely customizing all aspects of the network to suit the exact needs of the specific use case. So if you think of, like, to use an analogy, think of New York. Think of New York City and Ethereum. And then you can imagine the app chains as like the 5 boroughs of New York City, right? You have Manhattan, you have Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island. Look at those like app chains, and each borough or app chain is building on top of the bedrock foundation that is New York City or Ethereum, right? And I like to paint that picture because it provides a good analogy as to, what each app chain is and how it contributes to the overall foundation of the L1 or L2 chain.
That's a great one, especially great analogy. Especially for us Spider-Man fans. Yeah, I think there's room for a bit more specific question as well, Kev, which is, what are the Ankr app chains?
For sure. So Ankr as an infrastructure provider in the blockchain space, what we do with our app chain products is essentially the same with our other infrastructure. So we build the blockchain infrastructure of these app chains with our official partners like Binance, Polygon, and Avalanche, and now in the near future, Ethereum. So rather than the developer or the business having to build the infrastructure of that specific application chain, Ankr does all of the engineering work, all of the infrastructure work. We build it, we grow it, and we scale it, so that the developer or the business can only focus on their application, their business goals, their business needs, rather than having to worry about building the infrastructure and empowering the infrastructure that is supporting their business.
I see. And so, what motivated the team to introduce the app chains on the Ethereum network? And I think that you can represent the team who is behind this product, right? And what are the unique benefits or opportunities that you and the team believe AppChains bring to the Ethereum ecosystem?
Yeah, so the way that I view it and the rest of the team views it is Ethereum is ultimately, the holy grail of blockchains as far as large enterprises are concerned. And what I mean by that is large enterprises looking to join the blockchain space are most infatuated with Ethereum. We've seen these corporations in the past buying ETH, the asset, buying the ETH coin, but they've been hesitant to build on top of the Ethereum network because, up until this point, it's very difficult to scale. And that's a massive challenge for them because they need to, in order to make that vertical jump and actually start building on top of Ethereum's network, the transaction speeds need to be much faster, and they need to be able to power, the mainstream applications and large businesses for these enterprises. As of up to this day, the gas fees were way too high to be viable for these types of operations. Now, obviously, Ankr understood that, and we aim to innovate and ultimately be the pioneer of app chains on Ethereum, bridging that gap for large enterprises to join. So with Ankr app chains on Ethereum, what we're doing is we're removing those barriers to entry, and we're allowing these enterprises to build their own dedicated blockchain within the Ethereum ecosystem that has speed, reliability, security, low gas fees, customizable gas fees if they wish, while still receiving that unmatched trust trust of Ethereum and the decentralization of Ethereum, right? So we're almost solving that blockchain trilemma, introducing that scalability incorporation into, the decentralization and security of Ethereum. We view that as ultimately what's going to ultimately contribute to the consistent wider adoption of crypto over time, because as these large enterprises start to build on top of Ethereum, they'll begin bringing their consumers into the space as well. And that's key in order for this industry to continue to thrive.
Mm-hmm. It makes a lot of sense, especially with the analogy that you mentioned, New York City. I guess it's it's going to be a great one, and definitely super excited as well to be part of Ankr at this point, right? When we launch this new product. Now we dive a bit deeper into how AppChains on Ethereum address the scalability challenges faced, by other traditional blockchain networks as well. Can you explain how they improve, right, transaction throughput and processing speed as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, instead of sharing the Ethereum network with thousands of other applications and developers and businesses all competing for traffic on Ethereum's one mempool, now these businesses, these applications, they'll have their own dedicated blockchain with their own dedicated mempool, which is where all the transactions get sent to be validated and stored. That in and of itself results in throughput that will be 1,000 times greater, because no longer are these businesses and developers having to compete for traffic on that one mempool. They have their own dedicated one, and that's key. Now, an AppChain on Ethereum has its own dedicated infrastructure as well, which means dApps and large businesses, they'll be leveraging infrastructure performance that's much greater, right, than that of a public chain, but still benefiting from the security that comes from having a large validator set. I think Ethereum's somewhere around like 560, 500 to 80,000 validators, could be more. And that kind of throughput and performance that decentralized apps and businesses will gain is what they need in order to truly be able to scale in this industry. And then one thing that I just thought about, to be honest, is not only is it, beneficial to these businesses in terms of allowing them to be able to scale, but for the Ethereum ecosystem, it's also beneficial because it increases the liquidity across the entire network, right? So by enhancing scalability, you're allowing retail users to actually utilize these applications rather than just buy, digital assets. They're truly becoming users of the network, and they're learning through experience, and that's key. So the solving the scalability portion of this, it's really a domino effect to consistent wider adoption of crypto from retail users over time.
Right. Just can't believe how much we have advanced, especially since the moment I joined crypto, which was in 2018. We had this dilemma, and again, super happy to be part of this, right? That was just from the community side. Now I have a question from another point of view, probably, which is what impact will AppChains have on the development of dApps and smart contracts on Ethereum? And well, I guess this is more for developers, but from another point of view, or user point of view, right? How does it enhance the overall user experience as well, right, for us?
Yeah, so in order to enhance the user experience of anything, you have to enhance the building experience, right? So what that means is you need to ultimately empower builders with high quality, infrastructure in order to, reach their goals. And that's what we care about most about Ankr. So I guess, to use an analogy, another one, but from the physical world, it's like, if you want to have a stellar highway system, right, what do you need to do? You need to empower civil engineers with high-performing construction equipment, construction management systems, and the best overall infrastructure in order to build high-quality and safe highways, right? Well, it's the same for the digital world. It's the same for software engineers building dApps on blockchain networks, or large businesses seeking to make a vertical jump to the blockchain space. we need to empower them with high quality blockchain infrastructure, which will allow them to create high quality user experiences in Web3 projects. And that's exactly what we're doing with AppChains on Ethereum, right? We're improving the overall building experience on top of Ethereum, which enables developers to build, grow, and scale their passion projects in a way that's going to have a superior user experience than that of what we're used to in the blockchain space, right? I mean, we've been here for a long time. We know that the user experience could definitely be improved in Web3 compared to that of Web2. And by improving the building experience on top of Ethereum, what we're doing is bringing in the top developer talent from Web2 to Web3, making it easy for them to continue to build in a high quality manner just in Web3, right? So leveraging dedicated infrastructure within the Ethereum ecosystem, it attracts developers, it attracts large businesses to join and create those applications that match UXs of Web2. And that's key, right? Because it will be very important as, listen, the world becomes more digital by the day, right? We see numerous things coming online, and it's going to be very important for programmable money and stable coins and government digital assets to become more adopted more and more over time. In order for that to happen, the infrastructure needs to be there. And obviously, as an infrastructure provider at Ankr, that's what we care most about. And that's why we're truly pioneering the idea and the execution of AppChains on Ethereum.
Thank you for such a detailed answer, Kev. And yeah, I noticed that you mentioned physical world and digital world, right? And it's something that, gradually I have, ended up saying as well. I don't say real world anymore, because at the end of the day, I think that, as you made the differentiation, right? Both are real. It's just one is physical, one is digital. And I guess that same as in the physical world, you need proper tools. Yeah, true. Sometimes we just don't notice, right, that in the digital world there are as well tools. That should be good enough for developers to build nice things. Exactly. And I wanted to bring up something that I am in close contact with the community, right? And we have been wondering as well, right? When you mention in our latest blog entry, use ETH, so the token, as your gas token, or your new native app chain token. What does this mean exactly?
Yeah, so essentially with AppChains on Ethereum, what developers and businesses are going to have the option to do is choose what gas token they want to use. So they can use ETH for gas, or they can create their own AppChain token, any ERC20 token that runs on top of Ethereum, which is currently how the AppChain business model works, to utilize as gas fees. But I want to break this down a little bit further because I know that from a high level it can seem a little bit complicated. So you can think of basically AppChains deployed on Ethereum as roll-up solutions that are living on top of the Ethereum network, right? So they're not going to have any issue utilizing ETH, the coin, as gas fees, because ETH is easy to find and most Web3 users hold it, and they interact with ETH regularly, right? Through decentralized applications, through MetaMask and other wallets. So for some AppChain clients on Ethereum in the future, specifically the way that I view it is startup projects who are seeking to grow their audience and their user base, it's going to make much more sense for them to utilize ETH as their gas fees for basically enabling a seamless onboarding process for their consumers who, they won't need to purchase another token that's new and not as proven as other established businesses or applications, right? So as a startup project who's building an app chain on Ethereum, it just makes business sense for them to utilize ETH rather than create their own token and try to market that token to consumers while also trying to generate revenue in the form of gas fees of it. Now, on the other hand, the other option is creating your own app chain token. So instead of using ETH, you'll create your own token and utilize this for gas fees. And the benefit is you have a new revenue stream for your business from collecting, a cut of the global gas fees, and then the opportunity to build value from your token. And this is the model that I see most large enterprises using, because think about companies, think about the Fidelities, the JP Morgans, the Nikes, the FedExes of the world. They already have such an established brand, right? They're known globally. We all know who they are. It makes business sense for them to create their own token that their loyal customers will immediately recognize, trust, and then start to utilize right away, right? Like, they don't need to create a brand. They already have a brand that people are going to recognize. So if Nike were to build an app chain on Ethereum with their own token, Nike consumers will immediately recognize and begin to make transactions with the Nike token. And then as a result, that token will start to appreciate in value very quickly. Whereas the startup project might take a little bit more time. So the startup project will most likely start with ETH, and as they build, grow, and scale, their brand will improve. They can migrate to the AppChain token, which will become trusted, reliable, and attractable to their consumers over time.
Right, you actually answered my next question. Well, sort of, right? I was going to ask if there was like a sort of migration thing, and well, I guess thanks for reading my mind, Kev. And now another one, which is how do app chains on Ethereum interact with the main Ethereum blockchain? So it would be good if you can, describe a bit the communication protocols or mechanisms in place, basically, right, for the interoperability between both chains, which is something I guess is a bit challenging to understand as well.
Yeah, so I can't get into too much detail about that until we go officially live with the product. But essentially, what we're doing is creating a fully EVM compatible blockchains on top of Ethereum that leverage Ethereum's trust and security. So essentially, app chains on Ethereum are going to operate in a similar way as L2s, ZK rollups, who are aggregating and validating transactions before communicating with the Ethereum main network, right? To submit validity proofs that are validated by Ethereum before becoming a part of its new state. That is all I can get into from a high level, and I know that's a bit frustrating, but what I will say is over the next couple months, as we continue to fully launch this to market, we'll be giving updates about more technicalities of the processes that are in place to actually execute this. But unfortunately, right now, I can't give out more information than what I already have.
All right, well, such a pity. I'll make sure I block your calendar for an hour or two for another Tea Talk session when, we actually launch this to the market. And then, we will deep dive into this, hopefully, right? But yeah, thank you so much, Kev, for answering the best you can, right, with what you can share with us. Well, next, let's talk about something else then. Which are the anticipating implications of introducing this new product, right? App chains on Ethereum for developer, businesses, end users. How do you think it will shape the future of Ethereum as a platform for dApps as well at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, so I mean, it goes back to empowering developers with what they want and giving them high quality building experiences. Right. So over the past year and a half to 2 years, as myself and the team have built out this product, we understand that especially the large enterprises, they want to build on top of Ethereum. And that was our goal with this, is to empower them to be able to do just that, but through an approach that is the best and the most scalable way possible. So one thing that I'm really excited about is that we, at Ankr, we're pioneering the shift from large enterprises just buying ETH and holding ETH, the asset, to actually building applications on Ethereum. And on another note, of course, our goal with AppChains, specifically on top of Ethereum, is to generate more revenue and value to Ankr the business. But my goal with this is to also improve Ethereum, the network, and the environment for building there at a mutually beneficial upgrade to the entire ETH ecosystem, right? So, I mean, I like to use the example, another analogy, how, millions of people utilize the internet today without truly understanding or caring about how it works, because all they care about is the fact that it just works, right? Like, just like right now on this Twitter Spaces, we're using several layers of internet infrastructure just to have this conversation without the listeners or even you or myself required to know, how every layer works. It just works. So my goal with AppChains on Ethereum and Ankr's goal is to bring that same type of user experience to Web3, right? Which as a result will truly bring in the Web2 consumers and retail users into the Web3 space and start utilizing applications on the Ethereum network without even knowing they're utilizing Ethereum's blockchain at all. And that's key. That is what's going to truly allow for consistent wider adoption of crypto over time. And that's the goal with this, and we're very excited about it.
Yeah, definitely. We basically, you have driven me to my next question as well, which are your personal thoughts on the future of app chains. Like, how do you believe, they will shape the way we interact with dApps and blockchain technology as a whole, following possibly on what you have just told us?
Yeah, I mean, I've been working on this product for a long time, so it's something I truly believe in. I truly believe in the app chain thesis, and I mean, the way that I view it is massive adoption over time will occur when we provide the best benefits of blockchain technology without the drawbacks. And this will most likely mean a variety of scaling solutions working together in a fully interoperable and standardized way. There's so many great scaling solutions out in the industry right now, and for me, I see application chains as one of the more prominent ones, because like these large enterprises, they need dedicated blockchain infrastructure to match their high quality user experiences to translate over to the decentralized world of Web3, right? It's like they understand that they cannot have their, say older generation consumers start to, educate them on what a blockchain network is, how to utilize MetaMask, how to pay for a gas fee, how to have a certain amount of tokens in your wallet just to make a simple transaction, and we can't blame them for that. So rather than have to go through that education through reading, the goal is for us to empower these large businesses to join and educate their consumers through experience, right? It's like the same way Web2 joined in the early 2000s and people put in their credit card for the first time on the internet. Like, that was a little bit of a scary experience. It was something new, but over time we got used to it. And I believe that app chains will empower large enterprises to make that vertical jump and have a little bit less scary of a first-time experience in the blockchain space for their consumers, right? We know what these large enterprises need, and for app chains on Ethereum, that is what's going to allow them to, get what they need to reach their business goals and make the ultimate vertical jump to the blockchain space. So I guess in a nutshell, I see a world where all the major L1s and L2s build this type of, modular architecture, because they know everything that I just said. They know in order to capture those large businesses and developers, they need to provide that infrastructure that allows the developers of startup projects or large enterprises to build, grow, and scale their businesses in the Web3 space. So we obviously need interoperability, right, to bridge consumers utilizing app chains on different networks, to communicate with each other, to do business with each other, which I think is very important, which is why interoperability is key. And businesses on say like a Polygon supernet working with a business application that's operating on a BNB sidechain, and those consumers to talk to each other and transact with each other, we need that type of interoperability to come in the near future. And those are also scaling solutions that are related to the app chain thesis that I view as coming in the near future.
And it's a great prospect of the future of, well, of overall blockchain. And your your example has just reminded me of when I got scolded as a kid, right? The very first computer at home, and I just asked my dad for his credit card because I had to. I think I was trying to register for a kids club, and I had to pay like a fee to get my card sent, delivery. And oh my gosh, I just got scolded so bad. But yeah, I think this would be a wrap up already now. Thank you I just wanted to say thank you very much, Kev, from the whole team, from the whole marketing team, for being part of the inaugural Ankr Tea Talk session. And well, your expertise, and insights and opinions are, well, as the AppChains lead over here, right? Have been definitely invaluable in providing a deeper understanding, right, of AppChains on Ethereum. Thank you as well for during the session, answering questions as well, which we have seen in the community, right? And I think the contribution you have made to this session is impactful. Yeah, greatly appreciate your time, Kev, today with us. And well, I just wanted to say as well, you have been an exceptional guest. Now,
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Kev. And now for everyone else, as we wrap up our first ever Ankr Tea Talks session, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to Kev again. Today's session, as I mentioned at the beginning, was dedicated to, well, basically providing a deeper understanding of this exciting technology, right? And to note once again that for this particular episode, we are focusing on delivering a sort of presentation style format, right, Kev? And therefore, we are not having a direct interaction with the audience and community. However, we value your presence and support, right? We definitely appreciate it. And we encourage you to share your thoughts and questions through our official social media channels. Remember to follow us on Twitter. We are just twitter.com/Ankr. On Instagram as well, if you're over there. You can follow Kev as well just by, clicking on his profile pic and then click follow or tap, right? I just realized you are a Spider-Man fan as well, Kev.
I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Any analogy I can use that is associated with Peter Parker, I use.
I loved Across the Multiverse. I mean, I'm just going this week again to the cinema to watch it. But yeah, thank you everyone once again for being part of this super special event. We are super excited as well for launching AppChains on Ethereum, right? And in a couple of months, it will be the launch to the market. And I will make sure I block Kev's calendar as well, so we can have him here once again. And yeah, I think that's all from my side. Thank you all once again. We're looking forward to having you join in the future, all the talks. Anything else you would like to say, Kev?
No, I just want to say thank you, Sergio, for hosting. Thank you to everyone for joining. And as Sergio had mentioned, I'll be jumping on here a couple of different times over the next few months to provide more insights into the execution of how we're making this happen, and also provide some insight into the clients that we're working with with AppChains on Ethereum, because there's definitely some exciting news regarding the first movers and first clients of AppChains on Ethereum. But unfortunately, I can't say who exactly it is right now.
Those damn NDAs, right? Well, they are necessary. That would be great, Kev. And I will make sure I block your calendar in coming months. Thank you so much once again, and I'm just trying to know as well who are the first ones to join. Yeah, thanks everyone as well. So this is all for today, and see ya next time.